guys, welcome back to Jyotish Lab. Today we're going to be covering planets and the lordships of the signs. Which planet is the ruling lord for each sign, and we're going to be going into more details as we go through this topic. So, starting off with the first sign, which is Aries. The lord of Aries is Mars. The number next to it is the number that's indicating the maturity years, meaning Mars as a planet matures at 28. How does this apply, in the application of Jyotish is that usually if anyone were to be running a Mars Mahadasha, which is pretty much a period of time that Mars will be running for, it is ideal if the person who's running the dasha is 28 or past over 28 years old, because that's when Mars matures. Before that, it might not give great results because the planet itself hasn't matured yet. Same with Venus. Venus is pretty much the ruler of Taurus, and it does mature at 25 years of age. So if you're going to be getting the dasha when you're super young, as a kid, or 10 or 11 or 12, it's probably not going to be the best time. 25 is the prime time. And for Gemini, the lordship is Mercury, and the age of maturity is 32. So at 32 years of age, it matures, ideal to be starting this dasha when you're 32. Fourth is Cancer. Moon is a ruler of Cancer, and Moon only rules one house. The other planets, you can see it has two lordships. The only planets that only have one lordship is Moon, ruling Cancer, and Sun, ruling Leo. Mars rules Aries and Scorpio. Venus rules Taurus and Libra. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. And then we'll keep going on in a bit. And if we come to Saturn, it rules Aquarius and Capricorn. And as you can see, it does mature at 36. So running Saturn dasha before that, not so ideal. Saturn, it is, people talk about Saturn Mahadasha as being a little bit harsh, but it can also give. It will delay, but it does give results. But running it too early, we might not have the maturity to deal with situations and hardships and problems that Saturn might be giving at the beginning for us to be dealing with the problems. And Jupiter is ruling two houses here, Sagittarius and Pisces, and again it matures at 16, which is pretty low. So having Jupiter, starting like high school or like going into, college, it's pretty ideal. Okay, so that's what that means. So we went over the lordships and the signs and the rulers. Before I get into this, if you look beneath here, technically there's two teams, okay? Team A and Team B. So certain planets are friends with each other and certain planets are not, like they're like enemies and they don't give favorable results if conjoined or if you're running the wrong Mahadasha. Before I get into that, Team A, the captain would be Jupiter, okay? And if you notice who are the best friends or which planets work great together, there's a reason how this chart is kind of positioned in a way that also shows that. For example, if I were to pick Mars, since that's the inculpurish, this would be the first house, right? So that's number one. Usually, I'm sure you guys have heard of Trikona houses is 1, 5, and 9. Okay, these are the Trikona. So they're the auspicious houses that give you great results depending on your Purva Punya and Dharmas and your past ancestors' blessings. These are the houses that give you the best results. So depending on whichever ascendant you are, 1, 5, 9 houses will be the best planetary dasha periods and planets that are going to give you the best results. So 1, let's say this is 1, okay? So if the fifth house from this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So you said 1 is Mars, 5 is Sun, and 9 from Mars, Jupiter. Right? So that's 9. So 1, 5, 9. So automatically, so Mars, Sun, and Jupiter, they seem to be a team, a great team. Just because they're best friends and those are the good planets that's going to give you the best results. So if you just apply this 1, 5, 9 rule for every planet, you will see what planets are going to be giving you the best results based on your ascendant. So for an Aries ascendant, if you are an Aries ascendant, the best planetary time periods would be more than Mars, because Mars also would be ruling your 8th house. I would even say just 5 and 9. So Sun and Jupiter will be the best planetary dasha periods if you're lucky enough to run that to begin with, because sometimes some people won't even get to the Sun Jupiter belt or cycle, which we'll get into later. But this is just an example why certain planets are more in a team or more friends rather than with the other planets, which I'll do an example for Taurus. So if we come to Venus, let's say Venus is 1. Let me get rid of this so it doesn't confuse you guys. So Venus is 1. So if you're, Taurus is 1. If your ascendant is a Taurus ascendant, the 5th house from Taurus would be the house of luck and fortunes and, good purva punya that you'll be experiencing if you're going to run that dasha, Lord. It can be a Mahadasha or Antardasha, it doesn't matter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Mercury would be your 5th house. So already Venus and Mercury are good friends, right? So 5. And then if you go to the 9th house from Venus, which is Saturn. So Mercury, Venus, Saturn tend to be a group. Okay? Mercury, Venus, Saturn, Team B. So the captain for Team A would be Jupiter. The captain for Team B would be Venus. And what planets get along with Venus, or they're more friends, or if they're conjunct, or if you're going to run those periods, it's going to be Saturn and Mercury for Venus. And for Jupiter, it's going to be Jupiter, Sun, Moon, Mars. So that's how we classify it. I'm going to go over pretty much a couple more and then I'll stop so you kind of get the idea, because it will always work out. Like, you will never see a combination where it's going to be Mars, Mercury, and Jupiter, or Mars, Saturn, or it's not going to be Venus, Jupiter, or Mars. So for example, if you're a Gemini ascendant, your 1st house is Mercury. The 5th house would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Venus. The 9th house would be 6, 7, 8, 9, Saturn. Come to Moon. Moon will be the 1st house. If you're a Cancer ascendant, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Mars, Moon, Mars. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, Jupiter. Moon, Mars, Jupiter. There you go. Moon, Mars, Jupiter. So all of this is one team. So to break it down simply, if you are one of the ascendants in Team A, so Team A is where Jupiter is the captain. So if you are an Aries ascendant, Cancer ascendant, Leo, Scorpio, Sagittarius, or Pisces ascendant, or Lagna, the ideal dasha periods that will give you the most benefits or luck or good fortune, happiness, wealth, and whatnot, given that it's placed decently, would be Jupiter, Sun, Moon, Mars dasha. We'll get back to Ketu later. And if you're a Team B ascendant, so if you're a Taurus, Gemini, Virgo, Libra, Capricorn, Aquarius ascendant, it is best or ideal, or consider yourself lucky, if you were to run these dasha periods: Venus, Saturn, Mercury, Rahu. Mercury is kind of a tricky one. It can kind of work decently for a Team A ascendant if it's placed on its own, depending on the ascendant. So that's why I kind of put that arrow there. So yeah, I hope that kind of made sense. Since I didn't give an example for one of this, so let's say if you're, for Saturn, if you're an Aquarius ascendant, so Aquarius would be your 1st house, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, Saturn, Mercury, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, Venus, Mercury, Saturn, Venus. So that's the groupings that you can see. Towards your right here, this is just giving you the details for each planet in terms of friendly planets and enemy planets. So Sun is considered a male planet in terms of the sex, so it's a male. The best friends is Moon, Mars, and Jupiter, which we kind of got the idea here, right? So if you're ready to do a Leo, if you're a Leo ascendant, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bang on the 5th house is a Jupiter house. You're going to get blessings if you were to run a Jupiter time period. And then 9 would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, Mars. So as easy as that is. Saturn. Sun and Saturn is always going to be like the first enemy. So if you see a chart where Sun and Saturn is conjunct, or Sun and Saturn is aspecting, which we will get into, it is not ideal, just because show or denote issues with your father, especially a father-son relationship might be poor. Either your father might be absent throughout your life in terms of doing what your father is supposed to do, or just issues and problems and arguments and turmoils if a Sun and Saturn combination is there. And then Moon is a female sign, and the best friends would be Sun and Mercury. Moon does not have any enemies. Mars is a male sign. The friends are Sun, Moon, Jupiter, which we kind of went over. Enemy for Mars would be Mercury. So a Mars and Mercury conjunction can cause some issues. Mercury, best friends are Sun and Venus. Enemy is Moon. Jupiter, best friends is Sun, Moon, Mars. Enemy is Mercury and Venus. Automatically you're going to see the team A and B captains be in an enemy relationship. They say Jupiter and Venus is good. Sometimes it is, but in some ways it does cause marriage issues, depending on the placement. Venus, best friends are Mercury and Saturn. Like we said, Venus, Mercury, Saturn, they're a team, team B. Enemy is Sun and Moon. Saturn, best friends Mercury, Venus. Enemy, Sun, Moon, Mars. Rahu is a female. Ketu has no, so it's neither male or female. Venus is a female, we know. Saturn is neither a female or a male. Jupiter is a male. Mercury, neither male or female. Mars is male. So for Ketu, I didn't talk about the Dasha period. It matures at 48. That's why having a Ketu Mahadasha, which is a total of 7 years for Ketu, it's 7. They say it's most difficult time period sometimes, but sometimes it gives you a lot of spiritual learnings as well. And running a Ketu Mahadasha when you're super young or in your 20s or 30s can be quite difficult to deal with. So if you were to get it after you're 48, maybe it won't be that bad. Because again, the maturity, right? You're going to be more mature with the experience of 48 years that you have to deal with the situations and issues at hand. Rahu matures at 42. They say it's best if someone gets it at 42. In another video, I will be going over each ascendant and the best Mahadasha and the worst Mahadasha that could be run. So that will give you more clarity. So I just wanted to kind of break down the planets in terms of what team they're in, team A and team B. Because sometimes you wonder, right? For example, if I were to give you an example for a Sagittarius Lagna. So if you're a Sagittarius Lagna or an ascendant, and someone, let's say, is running a Venus Dasha. And, ideally you'd think, oh, it's a Venus Shukra Dasha. It's amazing. It's going to be great. It's probably going to give me lots of money or, happiness, wealth, houses, cars, whatnot. It might, but it does more bad than good. And I'll tell you why. Because for a Sagittarius Lagna, the 6th house is ruled by Taurus. 6th house of problems, legal issues, separations, problems, health issues, all of that is ruled by Venus, and it's going to more give the results of the 6th house, which is obviously not good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So that's just an example I give you. So you know that for a Sagittarius who is a team A, you'd want to run Jupiter, Sun, Moon, and Mars. Hope that didn't confuse too much. But yeah, that's what I wanted to kind of go over in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it.